5 minutes, Senator.
And I too would like to welcome Minister Humphreys to the House and commend her on having her launch yesterday of the commemoration in a very fitting location, the GPO. And I suppose it's just a pity a very small bunch of people couldn't see the bigger picture, but sure, what's new in that? I come from a county steeped in history. We had famous speeches made in the square in Ennis, Daniel O'Connell probably being one of the most famous. And indeed, we've had Eamon de Valera, Dr. Banji. We've had people who have made some remarkable contributions in terms of speaking. And like Daniel O'Connell, the street in Ennis is named after him. And I'm glad that the Minister has recognised that this is a national commemoration and that there will be events nationally and that there will be an engagement and consultation in every county in this country. Because every county in this country has its own history and has had its own people involved in revolutions. And I just think back to the old revolutions, the 1798 rebellion. And I visited the centre, the museum for the 1798 rebellion in Wexford. And it's an absolute credit to the people of Wexford in terms of the way they have brought the events in Vinegar Hill and the lead up to Vinegar Hill and Father Murphy and all of that to life. And indeed, the rebellion that followed a few years later as well has been recognised. And I think that 2016 is going to be a great year for Ireland. And I think it's going to actually put the gathering to shame. It's going to be so successful. Because well, it will. And the gathering was enormously successful. But we always have to aim bigger and better. And this will be. And it will engage with every Irish person all over the world. We were talking here last night about the diaspora. This will bring the diaspora together. It should be a celebration of what we are, who we are, how far we've come and what we've achieved, as opposed to any kind of squabbling on any part by any political figure, political party, activists or anything. This should be a coming together in the true metal sense that is Ireland and what makes us a unique country and, in my view, the best country in the world. I would also acknowledge and welcome what the Minister has done in terms of collaborating with the Minister for Education to bring our schools into it. Because I worry deeply about the future of history with young people in this country. There was a time, and that's only 20 years ago when I was in secondary school, that we did history up to Leaving Certificate. The vast majority of people did history up to Leaving Certificate. Now, many schools aren't even offering history as a choice to do up to Leaving Certificate level because there isn't enough demand for it. And I am also worried that it will not be compulsory at junior certificate level. So I think that the commemoration of 1916 provides us with a wonderful opportunity to re-engage with our young people in the teaching of history. Because, as I've said before, you cannot move forward unless you understand your past. We've had some amazing events in the last century. 1916 Rising, we've had two bloody world wars, World War I, we've had World War II, where we saw the proliferation of Nazism and what that did, and the millions of people who lost their lives. Is it possible that the vast majority of our young people in 20 years' time won't have any understanding of these important events like 1916? We have a responsibility to make sure that that does not happen. And I certainly hope that we're given that this opportunity, which the Minister has very kindly included in the programme of events, that the Department of Education, and I do think we need to bring in the Minister here to find out exactly what she's going to do to reignite and reflame the teaching of history in this country, because it is worrying. And I know that I've spoken to Dermot Ferreter at length before I did a TV programme on this issue. I've spoken to other historians, and I've been contacted by the History Society and the History Teachers Society, rather, who were deeply concerned about the diminishing of the teaching of history. So, we can have a long-lasting I suppose, impact with the commemoration that will go on. Obviously, it's going to give us great, I suppose, mehel, if you like, and it'll bring everyone together. But in terms of reigniting young people and, I suppose, getting the message across the Catholic to the powers that be that education is not simply about maths and about science and languages. They are important, but education is about who we are as well, where we came from, how we are where we are, and the people who created the country that we have, and the people who made the sacrifices. So I think that the commemoration programme that the Minister has launched yesterday and has outlined here today, I watched it in my office and she outlined it, is something that is tremendously welcome. And I think that we should keep this dialogue going here in the Seanad in the run-up to 2016. And the Minister is now becoming a very welcome visitor to the House. And I certainly believe that, going forward, that, she should use here as a forum. She should use here as a forum for discussing and maybe floating various ideas in terms of the commemoration, because I know you can hear that this is all work in progress.